What's up guys, Janey Brown here with Under Armour to share my keynote today from Fear to Fearce. What I'm going to start with is this quote. Loneliness is at an all-time high and has become a health epidemic. It is a greater predictor of early death than smoking, obesity, and excessive drinking. Loneliness absolutely kills you. Janey Brown, who is a doctor, a researcher, an author, a world-renowned speaker. Let me just repeat that last line. Loneliness absolutely kills you. So what does loneliness and rejection have to do with one another? Whether it be unconscious or conscious in a human being, there is a fear that rejection will lead us down a path to loneliness. And that path to loneliness looks like this. Rejection equals disconnection equals potential chronic loneliness equals death. It's not necessarily that is what's going to happen. It's not necessarily that you're conscious that's what you believe, and maybe it's not even what you believe unconsciously, but there is a fear connected to chronic loneliness and death because loneliness is causing death. And with suicide as one of the leading causes in North America, we understand now that our basic survival needs are no longer food, water, air, shelter, heat, right? It's also connection. And the reason for that, this is where the science and the history comes into play, we are neurologically hardwired to need human connection from time of birth until time of death for survival. It's non-negotiable. When you're a baby, right, and you're a blob and you can't take care of yourself, you need some bigger version of you to take care of you so that you can survive. That hardwiring, that programming never leaves us. Even though we logically understand, no, I can take care of myself now, I've got a job, I can cook somewhat, scrambled eggs, right? I can survive. Even though we logically understand that, our nervous system is programmed to understand something differently. So that doesn't leave us. Then, to add to this equation, from an ancestral standpoint, when you were a caveman, right? When we were cavemen, and we would go out as a tribe to get meat or whatever, and you were like all kind of standing behind some bushes and you see some saber-toothed tigers and you're like, all right, waiting for the chief to command so you can fire your arrows all at once, and you like prematurely fire your arrow, it wakes up the tigers, they chase everyone, and everyone's smart enough to climb trees, but somehow you run back to camp and they like follow you and eat a bunch of people. You're shamed and shunned out of your tribe forever. Like that's a wrap. And you knew if you had to separate from your tribe that you were dead. That hardwiring is also still in us. It's genetic, it's in our genes. So we are programmed literally to need human connection from time of birth till time of death for survival. And that is why loneliness is so scary, and that's why rejection is so scary, unconsciously or consciously. And you see this example when an athlete retires or gets cut from a team, especially in pro sports. Their community moves on, they feel disconnected and are disconnected, and they're forced to reform their identity and then figure out how to communicate and connect with the new community that is completely new to them. And if they don't have the tools to do that, which a lot of them don't, what can happen is addiction, depression, shame, loss of meaning, and we know what loss of meaning and chronic loneliness leads to. So this is a very real thing. Loneliness is deadly.